Hello, everyone. This week's parsha is Parashat Shemot. Like we know, it's a new sefer. It's a new, it's a book of Shemot, new parasha, new beginning. Now, um, if someone, let's say, would come to us and tell us, this baby that you're having right now, he has a potential of becoming Moshe Rabbeinu. What we would do with that baby? We probably would be so careful with that baby. Would raise him with so much, would be so much careful. Why? Because that baby has a potential of becoming next Moshe Rabbeinu. But how about our babies? Does he have a potential of becoming Moshe Rabbeinu? Probably not. Yeah. So that's why we're not so careful what he does, how he's raised. Yeah, of course, we are careful. We are, how our children are raised. But certain things that are questionable we probably do permit. We do permit. Why? Because we're not sure because we're not sure what will be with his destiny. But halacha says differently. It says in the Gemara. That when Yochevet, when she put the baby inside the Nile River, when she put the Moshe inside the Nile River in the box, she told Miriam to go and watch to see what will happen with this baby. So, like we know the story, Batya, she sees the baby, she takes the baby, she sees the box, and she takes the baby, and she sees there's a baby inside the box, and what she does is she tries to call Egyptian women who are the wet nurse, and she tries to give the baby to them so that they should nurse so they should give the milk to that baby. But something happened that the baby did not want to nurse from the Egyptian woman, and it refused from different ladies. And what happened was, Miriam, she was looking at this, and she saw, and she told Batya, there's a Jewish woman who I know who just gave birth. Do you want me to call her? And she called, and like we know, Batya, she agreed. Miriam goes home right away. She calls the mother, Yochevet, and Yochevet comes and she nurses this baby. She nurses Moshe, and the baby right away takes and he drinks the milk. Now, the reason why the baby this baby Moshe Rabbeinu did not take the milk of Egyptian woman, because Gemara says the mouth that will speak with Shekhinah, with Hashem in the future, that will speak with Hashem, it should not, meaning that same mouth should not nurse from non-Jewish women. And commentaries, Rashi explains what's the reason. He says like this: because non-Jewish women, they eat not kosher food, and since they eat not kosher, so that food is impure, it's unpure, and that not kosher food turns into milk. So that baby, like Moshe, who will be talking with Shekhinah, with Hashem, why should he? Meaning he should not be eating something that's unpure. So that's the reason why Moshe did not want to nurse from non-Jewish women. Okay, now, so what is this for us? Now, we know there is a halacha in Shulchan Aruch. Rama brings it as a halacha that a Jewish boy, let's say there's a boy, a Jewish boy, a child, a baby, he shouldn't, and let's say if we're looking for a wet nurse, we should not look for a non-Jewish wet nurse. We should look only for Jewish wet nurse. Meaning a baby should nurse from a Jewish lady and not from non-Jewish lady. Why? He says because there will be a timtum halev, meaning his heart will be hardened. Now, what's the source for this halacha? That a child should not nurse, that a baby should not nurse from a non-Jewish lady? The source for this halacha, Gaon Mivilna brings, is from Moshe Rabbeinu. That just like Moshe Rabbeinu did not want to nurse from from non-Jewish babies, from non-Jewish wet nurse, so too us, meaning a Jewish baby, should not. Let's say if someone does not have someone is looking for a wet nurse, he should look only for Jewish wet nurse and not non-Jewish wet nurse. So that's the source, meaning Moshe Rabbeinu's case, whatever I just said before, is the source for this halacha. So what's interesting is, now if we look, Rabbi Kamenetsky says, if we look, the reason why Moshe Rabbeinu did not, meaning Hashem did that Moshe Rabbeinu should not drink from non-Jewish, from Egyptian wet nurse, is because in the future he'll be talking with Shekhinah, meaning he'll be talking with Hashem. That's why, meaning that mouth should be pure, meaning it should not take something that's impure into its mouth. So what this has to do with our babies? Our baby, meaning since Moshe Rabbeinu till now, like how many people spoke with Shekhinah? Why is it like, why shouldn't I give my baby to non-Jewish wet nurse, and she should nurse my baby? Why? Because meaning the whole halacha that we learn from Moshe Rabbeinu, because Moshe Rabbeinu spoke with Hashem, he spoke with Shekhinah, but who said that our baby is going to speak? So Yaakov Kamenetsky says that that we should look at every single Jewish baby. When a Jewish baby is born, we should look at him that he has a potential to speak with Shekhinah, that he has a potential to speak with Hashem, he has a potential to become like Moshe Rabbeinu. He has a potential, and that's why from the time when he's born, we have to be extra careful. We have to be extra careful to see what he eats, what he does. Why? Because he has a great potential. That baby has a great potential. Every single baby has a potential to speak with Shekhinah. Now, it's a great lesson for us to see that that even our babies that has a great potential one day to grow up and to become great as Moshe Rabbeinu, to become someone great. But it's our, meaning we have to, of course, every baby has that potential, and one day it could reach that potential. Now, what's interesting also, Ramoshe Feinstein, he explains, he says, when the Torah mentions about Moshe Rabbeinu in the Chumash, in this week's Parsha, it does not tell us his yichus. It doesn't tell us his genealogy. We don't even know who were his parents, Moshe's parents. It doesn't mention. When does it mention about his genealogy? After Hashem commands, which is next week's Parsha, Hashem commands Moshe to go to Paro, and right before he goes to Paro, the Torah mentions his genealogy, who Moshe was. The question is, why didn't the Torah mention right away in the beginning? Because the answer is, even Moshe Rabbeinu, even that child who had a potential to become like Moshe Rabbeinu, he had to reach his potential. Meaning, once Moshe, that baby Moshe, once he reached his potential, and what was his potential? To speak with Hashem, and also to go and to save Jewish people from Egypt, to go to speak with Paro. Once he reached this potential, now the Torah tells us his genealogy. Now it's telling us who this person is. But before, in this week's Parsha, in Shemot, it doesn't even tell us who this baby was, like who's his parents, and nothing. Meaning, it doesn't mention about his genealogy. Why? Because he was still raw. He was still a raw potential, meaning he could have gone into a wrong way. He could have become not Moshe Rabbeinu. But once he reached his potential, he became Moshe Rabbeinu, he became that leader who's going to save Jewish people. Now the Torah mentions his genealogy. Now it's a great lesson for us, meaning it's something that we could learn from this, that every baby has a potential to become like Moshe Rabbeinu. Every baby has a potential to speak with Shekhinah. We should be careful, even with our babies, to what they eat, to what they watch, to how we raise them, how we, not to neglect them, not just physically but also spiritually. There shouldn't be any spiritual neglect. We should be very careful with our babies. Our babies are not just ordinary children. They have a great potential. Have a great Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.